So, for me, how I deal with constructive criticism is that I believe it is a positive and a learning experience. So, from my experience, I would say that in the past, when I've been told by managers or my boss, when I need to improve on something, I see this as a learning opportunity and not negative. I believe I can always grow from whatever they are expecting of me. And if they are kind enough to give me their constructive criticism, I believe that this would help me grow. So, in college, when I was studying for speech language pathology, when I was told that I can get a bit emotional, I learned from this because being emotional isn't negative. It's a great quality to have, but I believe that if I used it in a different way and expressed my emotions to where I can help benefit my patients, I could help them in the long term. So, all in all, for constructive criticism in any workplace or from any coworker or my boss, I believe that it is crucial to get constructive criticism, and I would actually want to ask for constructive criticism anytime I could. And what I've learned from a few mistakes in my past is that there's always a chance to grow. So for me, I was a bit too vulnerable when I was speaking to my patients, and I forgot the task that I was assigned. So at the end of the day, I wanted to help my patients become more confident in their speaking. And when I was trying to help them with their stutter, I found that learning from me being too vulnerable and helping them in a sense instead of it benefiting me made in a long-term goal better, and that helped me learn that in my next procedures, my next patients, that I need to be able to help them with their stutter, and having that one goal helps me kind of ground myself, and I found that that was a crucial learning experience for me. So for conflict, there's of course so many ways you can deal with conflict. In the workplace, for me, I like to handle conflict with others. I try not to have to figure everything out by myself because I found that doing peer review and asking for my professors and asking for my colleagues' opinions and how they would handle certain situations, it taught me that dealing with certain scenarios and problems, it could help me better my experience. So one time when I was dealing with a conflict, I was with a patient and they were struggling to understand where I was asking them to place their tongue when I was helping them with dysphagia, and they got a bit upset. So, in that scenario, I didn't want to take it upon myself to make a decision because I thought that in that case, asking my peers, asking my colleagues that are also nationally certified and they are a speech language pathologist to help, asking them for help helped me ground myself and take a step back and see how I could help my patient instead of acting out with my own resolvement. So, to deal with conflict, I believe that it is best to consult in your peers. And I think that would also make our company stronger all around. So, the couple steps that I would give is that I would take a step back, I would take a breath, and assure them, my patient, that it will be okay and that we can restart that practice or we could challenge something else. I found that working with kids, they could have a small attention span sometimes, and with their speaking, when they don't feel confident in their words, they could shut down. So, to help this, when I bring in a colleague, bring in a professor, and ask for their eyesight and overview and see how they would handle it, it would help the patient as well to feel a bit more calm and collected, which of course embetters me in the end. So I believe that you guys would hire me and feel that I would attribute to this company and organization because I am a communicator and I am fast adapting. So in any problem, I try to always get outward opinions, and I try to work with this as a team because in the end, every corporation, it's a teamwork and team bonding experience. So I believe that with my background, having the national certification in speech language pathology and a master's degree, I believe that I could enrich the patients that come to this center and this practice. And I believe that if my brother, who also struggled with a speech impediment when he was younger, if he could find confidence in his own speech language pathologist, I believe that with having that background and that firsthand experience that I experienced, I believe that I could attribute that to this company. So for some of my skills, back to what I was saying about communication, I believe that it's best when you talk to your coworkers. And if I ever were to be having a miss of absence, or if there's personal travel, or if it's a expediting event that I found that I could not make it to work, I believe that having that communication is superior and crucial, especially since in a corporation you need everyone to be on the same page, right? So in my experience, I believe that one time for my coworker, she was attending a funeral and she could not make it to see her patient. And I had no prior experience with this patient. I did not know how far they were in with their dysphagia or if they were going into audiology afterward. And I found that it was difficult because with the late notice, I couldn't adapt. But taking a step back and grounding myself, and again, being a fast thinker and a problem solver, I was able to overcome that challenge without freaking out or stressing out my patient. So at the end of the day, when these students and young children come in and they feel very vulnerable, it's a perfect space to collect them and be comfortable and allow them to have that safe space, because since they aren't confident in their speaking, they struggle to find reassurance in their counselors. So I believe with my experience in my master's degree program, when I was having my clinical hours, I found that working with my patients, I have a great patience level, and that when I'm speaking to someone, I try to maintain eye contact and I want to seem like I'm completely all ears for them, because I believe that that's what people need most in that time. So I would say that would be what I could attribute to the team. Thank you.